Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Tom. Welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 14 of my F1 2015 Full House series, and we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And actually, we're switching up for the first time in a while. I did mention in the last video that it might start to get a little bit harder, and indeed it is going to get a little bit harder. As you can see, we're in the Force India this time. We're in the Force India of Checo Perez and Sergio Perez, as you may know, in the real F1. And as you can see, we are starting from the back as per usual, and obviously we are about 8 points behind Lewis Hamilton. So if you haven't checked out the previous race, then I do recommend you go check it out in the description down below. But we've got a lot on our plate this race. We do need to try and recover to Lewis Hamilton and try and gain on him in the World Drivers' Championship. So we really need to put in a shift here, and the next couple of races are going to be crucial for us because we're going to have to keep on using a couple of these midfield teams. So this could be a bit of a down point in the season. So pretty much it's all going to be about damage limitation at this point. So fingers crossed we can get some good results, get some points on the board, and we can try and maintain our second place in the championship, and maybe even make a challenge for Lewis Hamilton's first place. Who knows? Either way, we're going to need a little bit of luck, but we're going to jump into the race now, and hopefully we can get a good result here as we get up to 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix, using the front brake bias as per usual in this full season, which is something I've learned from my live cockpit career mode, that the front brake bias in this car really does help as we make our way into turn number 1 now for the first time this race. Taking it nice and easy, just almost in the back of Roberto Merritt. There's just nowhere to go through at the minute, and the AI are very staggered and very stacked through here, so we're just going to take it nice and easy as we make our way into the S's now for the first time this race. Just taking it nice and slowly, making sure to stay out of any contact, and then now we're going to try and go for a move as we go around the outside of Roberto Merritt, just sticking our nose in there, which will become the inside for the second part of the S's, and we're now going to try and squeeze through the inside of Will Stevens just about. They're getting the move done, and we got past both of the Manners there nice and quickly as we're now on the back of both of the McLaren Hondas of Button and Alonso, going into the Degners for the first time this race. We're going to try and start the inside of JB there, but JB just about gets better on the brakes than us, and we've got to sit behind him for the time being. But now is when the Force India can really show its power, and I've really gone for a bit of a straight line speed set up here, so we should be pretty nippy in a straight line. And here we go then, approaching 130. Yeah, we're going to breeze past Jenson Button like he's not even there, get ahead of him before 130, and now we're going to try and stay into the slipstream, and now we're going to try and pull off a move on Alonso as we go up the inside of the final chicane, just about slowing it down there for the chicane. And we've got a pass now pretty much to the usual 4 suspects who are at the back of the grid all the time, which are both McLarens and both of the Manners. And we're now going to see if we try and hunt down Max Verstappen, who is obviously actually doing a quite poor race so far. He's really struggled around here, and also his teammate Carlos Sainz, who I believe is just ahead of him. So we've got both Toro Rossos, so everyone seems to be in 2x2 orders. There's been contact up ahead, and there's been a crash. We've hit Verstappen there, and Massa is backwards there on the exit of turn number 2. So there's been some sort of crash there, and unfortunately I can't share a replay of that because my game actually crashed as soon as I pressed the stop record button on the actual race itself. So got no footage of the race for you guys as we make our way up the inside of Max Verstappen at the hairpin, but Verstappen gets much better traction out of the corner there, so we're going to to try and get him elsewhere as we tuck into his slipstream now, making our way into the Dunlop curve, and into Spoon curve. Can we make a move here? We're going to go up the inside of Verstappen, and there's a lovely overtake there on the young Dutchman, and up into P14 now. So like I was saying, Felipe Massa, I haven't got no replay cams for you guys for this race, unfortunately, because my game did crash as soon as I stopped recording. So unfortunately I have to take it how it comes, and skipping later on onto the start at number 3. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a scrap going on here between like 5 cars as we go around the outside of Carlos Sainz, and that'll become the inside for the next corner. And everyone seems to be going too wide through the S's here as we try to line up Ericsson and Hulkenberg for a move, and at the same time try and 100% overtake Carlos Sainz. Now again, a lovely little switchback through the Dunlop now, and we get a lovely run, but Ericsson just shuts us off completely there. We could have overtaken Ericsson and Hulkenberg there quite easily as we make our way into the Degner now. Going to try and get a lovely little cutback on the pair of them. Can we go up the inside of Hulkenberg? No, we can't. And Ericsson's also come back us around the outside. Some fantastic racing here so far this race as we now line up possibly a move on Ericsson into the hairpin as we go up the inside there, nice and late on the brakes, making the move stick there. Textbook stuff, and we take P12 there from the young Swedish driver. And a very nice battle there between all of us, and AI keeping it fairly clean as we now approach 130 on the back of our teammate Nico Hulkenberg, and we need to try and keep this move as clean as possible as the team won't want us to crash here as we go around the outside off of German there. Easy peasy lemon squeeze here, like he's not even there. And we get ourselves up into P11, so a fantastic move on Nico Hulkenberg then. We've got a couple of cars in the pit lane. No, we haven't, so it's actually Hulkenberg who's actually re-overtaking us now. DRS is enabled, so Hulkenberg is going to return the favour and try and get him back straight away. I try to slice back on him and got the inside, but Hulkenberg gets it slowed down nicely as I tap the back of him there, go onto the grass a little bit, but Hulkenberg there with a very nice overtake there and gets some nice little payback on me, but I'm going to return the favour once again later on that lap up the inside of the hairpin there, and it's a very simple overtake on Nico Hulkenberg, getting it slowed down and then just taking the inside line and squeezing them out, hanging them out to dry, and that is just up in P11 now. And skipping later on, we're on the back of Felipe Nasr on lap number 5, and as you can see, we're going through the S's, and Nasr so far a pretty good race, having a P10 into the points, but I'm about to ruin that for him as I take P10 up the inside of the S's there, just about a lovely little move, just left the gap open there, and I took the gap and went for it, and as you can see, we're now into the points, and we're now on the back of Romain Grosjean, who in real life is having a fantastic season with Haas and doing some really good performances, but here, he is still in the Lotus, which isn't as good as a car as the Haas, and it should be a fairly easy overtake as we crank it up into rich mix now to try and get past Grosjean before 130R. Run a little bit wide there, but we do make the move stick there, and it is a nice simple move on Romain Grosjean, and there's no contact, which is the crucial part of the overtake. And exactly one lap later, we're actually going to do the exact same overtake on his teammate Pastor Maldonado, who is actually no longer in F1 in real life. But here we go then, up the inside of Maldonado through 130R, a lovely move there on the Venezuelan, and we're now up into P8 already. So we started off a bit slow this race, but we're definitely starting to now make some inroads. And lap 7, as you can see, we're now into the pit lane for our first stop of the race. And a lap before that, on lap 6, a couple of people had pit, hence why I am in 6th place. But eventually, we are going to start dropping down the field. But meanwhile, we're going to go onto another set of options, and we get held up by Maldonado a little bit there. But we're now going to go into another set of options, aka the medium tyres. And now it's a matter of, hopefully, if we come out some clear air, we need to push as much as we can and see how many positions we can try and pick up in the second half of this race. Skipping later on in the race, as you can see, we're on the back of Jenson Button and Alonso, who both of them simultaneously peel into the pit lane. So McLaren have actually screwed up there massively, and the McLarens are going to have to stack. And I don't think there's any more cars in the pit lane, so we are going to rejoin in 8th place, which was our position before the pit stops occurred. And we've actually got a couple more cars in the pit lane now on lap 9 and lap 10, so a bit of a different strategy going on for some cars as we set the fastest lap of the race and take P6 there. So a bit of an interesting race now. Teams and cars are starting to split their strategies. Some people are going for 3 stops, some people are going for 2 stops. So things are really starting to heat up and get a bit tasty now here in Japan. And as you can see, we set another fast lap of the race, so we are really starting to get on the pace now on these medium tyres, and we're on the back of Kimi Raikkonen, so we are faster than the Ferraris here around Japan, so that's a very positive sign, and it's something that we can really take into account as we go up the inside of the Iceman at 130R. They have a very simple move, and we later went on to set another fast lap of the race, as you can see now, coming across the line, and not that lap particularly, but the lap where I passed Kimi, that was actually another fast lap of the race. And meanwhile, we've got cars in the pit lane, so we're actually going to take P3 for the time being. Nico Rosberg, crucially, in the pit lane there, so one of the Mercedes who we can use as a reference point as we come into the pit lane. Obviously, the Mercedes we need to worry about is Lewis Hamilton, so he's the one that we've got to keep an eye out for, and he's actually in the lead, absolutely walking this race, so we need to do something different here to try and respond. Now, my thought process was, we did 7 laps on the options in the first stint, and I did almost pretty much 10 laps on the second stint on the options. I dragged them out so long, and my plan was to try and cut out a 3-stop and make the race a 2-stop for me. So now we're on the primes, we should be going to the end on these tyres, which is the plan. So that's going to be the plan of action, as we see a car on the right hand side there, which is Kvyat, who's actually broken down. So Kvyat has actually broken down from the race, so we're going to gain a place there, and we're back up in the P4 now in a net 4th place. And this is where it gets crucial now. Nico Rosberg right there in the pit lane has actually pit for a set of primes, I believe, or options. I'm not sure what tyres he's on, but he's done his final stop and he's behind us. And 1 lap later, we've got Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane there. So we're up into P2 now. So now it's a question of, will Lewis Hamilton pit? And skipping on to lap 25 onto the start lap number 26, Lewis Hamilton has not pit, so it looks like Lewis Hamilton's going to win this race because he is 10 seconds up the road and I'm in 2nd place, so I'm not going to catch him. So it looks like that's how the race is going to end, but that's what I thought until lap 27, when you can see on the right hand side Lewis Hamilton has come into the pit lane. So it looks like Lewis could not make his tyres last, and as you can see, I can already tell what's going to happen. I've taken lead of the race, no one is near me, and I'm going to walk to the finish line. And a very boring second half of the race, but overall it was crucial for me strategy wise to make that call, and I'm going to come across the line for a whopping 25 points out of nowhere, and I still can't believe that result. We get 25 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. We snatch it under his nose right on the last lap. Lewis didn't feel like he could make his tyres last the entirety of that final stint, and he went for the safe option, came in for a fresh set of tyres, and that had pretty much promoted me into a race win. And there we go then, lifting the trophy in a very, very surprising result. And in theory, depending where Lewis Hamilton has crossed the line, I don't know where he's finished yet, but wherever he did finish, we could potentially take the championship lead because we was 8 points behind. So it looks like we probably are going to take the championship lead because unless he's finished 4th, it looks like it's all shaping up really nicely for me in the World Championship. So looking at the final race results, Lewis Hamilton got P4 there, so we're going to gain 13 points on him. So that means we are going to take the World championship lead for the first time this season. Lewis Hamilton has been absolutely dominating, is actually going to drop the race, the championship lead for the first time this season. And then looking at the rest of the top 10, Kimi Raikkonen down there in P5, and Vettel actually pipping the Mercedes to second place, so good race from him there also. And Daniel Ricciardo there down in P7, and then Kvyat obviously who broke down, moving in the points, so a bit of a mixed up grid there. But overall, the crucial result is we get 25 points over Lewis Hamilton, as does Sergio Perez, who gets 25 points, because that is how the series works. So looking at the final standings, as you can see, we are 5 points clear of Lewis Hamilton at the top of the table with pretty much 5 races left to go. So things are getting tasty now, with both Ferraris in 3rd and 4th, and Rosberg still down in 5th place there, and Sergio Perez at the bottom, making his way to the top 10 for the first time this season, thanks to me winning the race for him and getting him 25 points. But overall, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed the video, and if you have, then please do smash the like button down below. If we could hit 70 likes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, guys, I'd also appreciate if you guys could also subscribe to my channel down below. As you can see, click the red button, and if you're not here, subscribe to my channel, as I'm closing on 3,000 subscribers. If you want to follow my Twitter, there's a link down below in the description at Tom87HD. I really do appreciate if you go follow me on there. I do update whenever I do videos, and just the whole YouTube scene, and I generally tweet a lot, and there's a lot of banter going on the F1 race weekend, so I do recommend you go follow me on there. But nevertheless, I've been Tom87HD, guys, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.